We will see you.
See you.
But we're going to see you because welcome. Hey, everyone. It's Friday. It's my favorite day. It's Epic Cash Live. My name is Uncle Vigilante. And I I unapologetically cover Epic Cash. And boy, do we have a great show for you today. We're going to cover lots of territory. And we even have a special guest, Alpha Eyes. Many of you who are in our Telegram chat know, well, let me just speak for myself. I know when I should just be a voyeur and read and not try to engage because the smart people are in the room.
Yeah.
So I love it when Johnny and Alpha are going back and forth, and Max, you get in there and you guys are talking about E1 and EUSD, and we're going to talk about both of those today. So with me today, we do not have Yoga. He had he's doing some technical stuff for the project. So he asked if he could just continue to work on that with some guys. And of course, we said yes. Max Freeman, founder of Epic Cash, is with us. As I mentioned, Alpha Eyes is here. And then, of course, we have who? L. McMurphy. L. McMurphy's here, and he's back. He's back with his microphone. I mean, look at that, and look at that, and you know what? When he's on, we of course know that that Epic Cash is in a bull market. But do you know the number one indicator of a bear market for BTC? Do you all know Pompliano? He has a podcast. He's been, he's a long-term BTC maxi. Well, ever since BTC has been in somewhat the shitter, hold on, Max, let me admit you. Ever since he's been in the crapper on its retrace, Pomp decided that on all of his shows now, he would interview people wearing a suit, and only when BTC flips and goes into a bull market will he take off his suit. And so I just want to, I know him personally, and I just said, hey dude, can you send me a photo? So he was nice enough to send me the photo. I asked him if he wanted to talk about Epic Cash a little bit, and this is the photo I got here. Looks like he's still wearing a suit, Max. What do you think of that?
So I think that he wanted to find an excuse to wear a suit every day for the rest of his life.
Well, shout out to Monkman who created this meme. If I pretend Epic doesn't exist, I don't have to face the fact that Lightning doesn't work and BTC, and that BTC effectively that BTC's effective supply is infinite due to fractional reserve by exchanges. So that's our just let me X pomp us out of here. And let's go to Epic Cash. As you know, we always want to cover Epic and show you how we're doing this week. So this was just pulled 11 a.m. Eastern time. Today is August 5th, by the way. I will explain the title. Epic Cash Live, Michael Saylor says, oops, here in a second. But first, let's just go through here. It looks, where is our, Bitcoin is in bold. So they're down 42% over the last 12 months. So if you had $1,000 invested in Bitcoin, it would now be worth what, Max? $580? I think I have that math right. If you had 1,000 in Epic Cash, it would be $2,000. $2,040 and $40.
Oh, you can afford to give the 40 as a tip to the valet because you're up 100% year over year. Let's just call it 1,000. We don't need to be pinching pennies. We're not a BTC holder. Come on.
And Max, you and I were on. We were the guests of a podcast yesterday, and the interviewer John Laban, he felt we might be doing some funny business with numbers, so he chose to go back 24 months, and we were even looking better. So this is not just a short-term blip, but I want to look at Solana because they're the other one that is up here. Well, first of all, before we go there, let me go down. Shout out to all the gold bugs out there. You're finally up. So good on you. Silver's down. Apple's up. Tesla's up. Tesla's seem to be hanging in there over the last year. But, you know, I guess what this tells me is going wide and shallow with your portfolio, meaning diversification, isn't necessarily the best move when you can go narrow and deep in Epic Cash. So that covers that. Let me get out of this. Bear with me. And hello, everyone in the chat. Good to see you. I want to show my screen. Let me find my mouse because let's just talk about this and what this means, because Michael Saylor goes, oops. So MicroStrategy's Saylor drops the CEO role as the company posts $1 billion loss. Co-founder Saylor to continue to serve as executive chairman. The company has $1 billion quarterly loss after taking charge. Max, can you give us a little insight as to why there would be that $1 billion quarterly loss?
So they bought a bunch of BTC with leverage at the top of the market, or at substantially higher prices than today, and they are massively underwater. So they are recognizing the fact that for all the ink spilled, for all the beautiful words, the net economic result to MicroStrategy shareholders is a $1 billion impairment charge to the value of the company. So had they just stuck to enterprise software and not tried to go be messiahs of Bitcoin, they would be $1 billion better off than they are. But they also have the debt that they took on to finance the underwater position. So I could see this company in liquidation, unfortunately. I hate to laugh, but pride goeth before the fall.
Yeah. Well, when I was looking at the pricing chart, the year pricing chart, we saw Solana was up 12%. But I also had this in my notes to talk about, because I was just talking about in what the reference, talk to people about cold storage and ultimately being, if it's not your keys, not your coins. But can you explain anything about this? Solana, they're up year over year, but it seems to me when I read things like this that may not last for too long. Solana USDC drained from wallets in attack. More than 5,000 wallets have been drained of $4 million actually. Solana's price plunged within hours. So yeah, I think next Friday they're not going to look so good.
So I'm gonna let Alpha speak to the specifics on this particular hack because he knows it better. But what I will say is that we use proof of work like Bitcoin Core, like Ethereum today. Unlike Ethereum 2.0, if it ever comes post-merge, Solana uses something called proof of history. And based on the way their technology works, yes, okay, it's very fast for certain things. It's very cheap, but it tends to go down. I think it's been down, what, 9, 10, 11 times, something like that.
I think this would be the 10th.
Yeah, it's basically database software. It's decentralized database software that a team runs. It is an entirely different breed of cat than what we are doing, which is a distributed network, not a decentralized network. And so when you have centralized systems, centralization resistance is a core pillar of what we're doing for many, many reasons. Because if you don't resist centralization, then this type of thing can happen. I believe this was traced to what's known as an upstream supply chain attack. So Alpha, do you want to drop some knowledge on us on what precisely happened here of how people lost their money? I think it was was it the Phantom wallet or which one of those Solana ones?
I
Over
think
to you,
it's
Alpha.
I think it's called Solape. I'm not sure, but basically it's just a real basic hack to where when you set up one of these wallets, and they actually found that the same thing was occurring on Near, and they were able to stop it the past few days. And what it is was when you set up a wallet, at the end it asks you if you would like for them to email you your recovery pass, like a recovery. And if you put your email in, what it did was when you put your email in, they sent your private key to a third party app, and that third party app is what the hackers got into, and they got access to 8,000 wallets.
Wow.
So,
So what's the lesson learned for us building out the Epic ecosystem?
well, I mean, the lesson learned for I think anybody in crypto is, I think one thing that I noticed is that people are always using their email. I really don't see any reason for anybody to use any type of email. In decentralized services, there's really no reason for, OpenSea or whatever it is for them to contact you. So, that's for me, that's an instant giveaway. Whenever I see something come by email, I just delete it because there's no reason nobody should contact me about anything, because, we're running our own wallets, we're doing everything on our own. So there really is no employees that would be contacting you.
Wow.
So yeah, so that's the one thing whenever I see email, whenever I see people, these bored apes or whatever, they they have hacks for emails or instant message or whatever, and I just don't get it because why would somebody from OpenSea or wherever it is be emailing you? I mean, what would they, the social engineering is just it's not good. So
Yeah.
I think the lesson is just to is we always try to educate the community and tell them even put in our usernames, we will not contact you by DM, by email, or whatever. I think it's just I think users need to become more aware of issues like this.
So Alpha, while we have you on, can you give a little bit of your background and how you are engaged with Epic Cash and how long? Just introduce yourself to our awesome Epic community.
Yeah. So let's see. I by trade, I'm an archivist, a historian.
Okay.
I got into computer networking with Cisco and doing OSINT for fun on the side. And in doing OSINT, I got to read like some of these WikiLeaks, databases or whatever. And I found Bitcoin, I think in 2011.
Wow.
So, I went in, I guess, in Bitcoin in 2011. I sold in 2011. I left and I came back in 2014. And I really didn't know what I was doing for about 2 or 3 years. So I just lost all the money I put in for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And then I started to mined Ethereum for about a year. And then, I realized, it's one thing to put your money into projects, but it's another thing to contribute. And it's, for me, I enjoyed working in the projects. So I started off as like a community manager for a project called Utrum. I actually met Max in the spring of 2019, I believe it was, in Discord. I was scanning through Bitcoin Talk, and I saw Epic Cash and I saw Mimblewimble, and I had paid attention recently to the announcements in Bitcoin Talk, and I saw Beam and I saw Grin. And those interest me because Mimblewimble is pretty new concept, and privacy, which I enjoy. So I contacted Max. Next thing you know, we're in Discord and we're having like a video chat. I think maybe a few months after that, I went out to where he lives, and we worked on the project a little bit. And but I mean, I wasn't really too involved. I helped out a little bit here and there, but it wasn't as much as, most of these other guys are doing, or Max did himself, So I worked with him a little bit, 2019. And from 2020 to 2021, I was an inverse finance DAO delegate, inverse finance marketing committee member. It wasn't Pleaser DAO. I was a DeFi advisor for a few projects. Just really involved in, I guess, Ethereum DeFi, because, that's what really just popped up.
Yeah.
And, that was an interesting go around, which kind of brings us, to what we've been working on recently, which is the bridge, which is like it seems like a very basic concept, a bridge, but it's actually, it's very key.
Yeah, let's do this, Alpha. Let's table that and talk about it when we get to EUSD paper, and then you and Max can riff on that and talk about the bridges. That would be really cool. Before we do, Enrique, come off mute. You and I are committed this weekend, aren't we? So we can report back next week. The Epic Cash GUI wallet is apparently road ready, and it has been beat up and lots of improvements and everything. And I'm a nervous Nelly, so I have my coins on Vite, but I am committed this weekend to try to figure this out. And you are too, right, Enrique?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna give it a go, and there's plenty of people at the Epic Cash help desk that will be available to help.
Yep.
And we're gonna go for it. We're gonna hold hands.
We're gonna hold hands, and we will report back to you next Friday on how it went. And we're doing this as a community service. And by the way, anytime you do anything like this, you don't just send everything, right?
Yeah.
You test. So let me rephrase it. Enrique and I are going to test sending coins or sending tokens, I guess, from Vite to the GUI wallet. And I presume it'll all go swimmingly well. And then once we get the hang of it, then it's always better to be able to have your keys, right? Go ahead, Enrique.
Yeah, exactly. And you also personally, you want to send from, your GUI wallet to Vite and back and forth, because, you might want to trade sometimes. And so it's important to know how to do it, even if you want to leave, a portion here, a portion there. That's the way I look at it. So it's important to learn how to do it.
And from what I understand, it's not just going to be, and you can correct me, Max, if I'm wrong, but when the Diego wallet comes out, the Stack wallet, there's not going to be the easy button yet. I say yet, to be able to just send your Epic from Vite over to the mobile wallet. But there is a very easy end around to where if you send it to the GUI wallet, you can then use the mobile wallet and restore your coins to where the way that it kind of made sense to me is, for a long time, I only used online banking. I would only use my computer for that. And then when the app came out, my bank's app, then I was able to use the app to do online banking as well. So I had a choice. And so it's not that you are moving your coins from your GUI wallet over to the mobile wallet. It's just that you're going to be able to see them and manage them in two different places. And do I have that right, Max?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So that's pretty cool, guys. But for me, because you know me, my moniker is I don't know shit. I was thinking that if you moved them from the GUI, you're actually moving the coins to the mobile wallet. And it's not like that. It's just basically two different lenses looking at your coins that are on the native Epic Cash blockchain. All right. So there is, if you go into t.me/Epic Cash help desk and you ask for this PDF, There is a PDF that is available. I can't remember who created this. I am so
think it was
sorry.
Sky.
It was, what's that?
I think his name is Sky on Telegram. I'm not sure.
It is. It is. So Sky, thank you so much. And
Yep.
this is so helpful. You know what this is? You know what this is, guys? This is a great teaching opportunity. Here you have this guy, Sky, and you know what this is? This is a wet oar right here. He put his oar in the water to not just be a passive investor in Epic Cash, but he went in there and he saw an area of need and he went in, and I guarantee you he put a ton of work into this and a ton of time. So
Oh, yeah.
kudos to you, Sky. Thank you. I will send my appreciation after the weekend and I'm successful, but I am going to use this document. I already have it printed out. So I'm excited about that.
That was a lot of work. Yeah, I just want to reiterate that. Sky King, thank you for your efforts. I just want to make sure everyone knows this is a major undertaking. It was a lot of work. Pool Boy has been working on the GUI wallet for months.
Yes.
But once it was in place and all the bugs, or at least most of the bugs got worked out, thanks to everyone who helped on that. You know who you are. Sky King came in and put the guide together. So it's really been a team effort. We're really cooking with gas and firing on all cylinders here now.
Yeah, it's awesome. I want to also, now this is something that was written by Black Tiger in January 9th, or at least published. But I had not seen it before. It was just dropped, I think, in Freeman U, t.me/Freeman U. If you aren't already a member of that channel, you should be. And that's Freeman U, not YOU. But I thought this was cool. It's just kind of a what is Epic Cash core software? It's just a very simple explainer. Epic Cash server, Epic Cash wallet, Epic Cash mining, other software. So it's a real quick read. I will drop this in the show notes as well for everyone to review. But thank you, Black Tiger. You do a ton of work for the community too. You are just an absolute rock star. Black Tiger created the tip bot. And Max, let's just riff a little on the tip bot and Alpha and Enrique. What do you think that brings to our project, Max?
Well, so it is possible now today to send money to anyone through Telegram. The tip bot is integrated in, I don't know, few dozen groups, something like that. It's steadily getting infiltrated more and getting better. Shout out to Black Tiger. He's been working on that for a long time. Please, if you haven't supported Black Tiger's work, he's about halfway through funding phase 2 of his milestones. Little goes a long way here. Please, let's show him some love. There are 500 million users on Telegram. I think it's going to be the next billion user social network. And actually, one of the companies I'm invested in manages a good chunk of his crypto portfolio. So when the time is right, I can knock on that door, but we're too small right now. So let's get a little bigger and then I can go connect that dot. But essentially imagine if all these Telegram groups that are out there where people are chatting, if they have a way to send money to each other, specifically our money. So that's what TipBot gets us. It's been a huge amount of work. It seems like something simple, but it's really not. So if you haven't engaged with TipBot, you really should. And then just imagine, wow, what can I do with this? Imagine making it rain, spraying little droplets of money on people. How many wallets can we set up that way? We're just under 2,800 wallets I saw recently on Veet. So imagine when we can crack 3,000. Number of wallets actively being used is one of our key metrics. So the more that we can drive that, the better.
That's awesome. One last question before we go to, let me pull it up here. Let me share my screen, everyone. We're going to have a little EUSD discussion. There we go. Max, this question's directed to you. We have Alpha on the line, and he is going to, I like the word riff today. He's going to riff with you on this and just kind of our future. But how many alphas do we have out there who are working in the background that people don't know?
We don't have enough time. There's only 34 minutes left in the show.
I know, but generally, I mean, it's like, because when I got pulled into the E1 chat, and there's Johnny, and who is Johnny again? He's the
Avalon.
Johnny Avalon, but he's what's his company?
His company is called Avalon.
Avalon. Okay. Anyway, I got pulled into this E1 channel, and not because I'm going to be additive, but it was just very, very helpful. And I'm watching Johnny and Alpha go back and forth. And I swear to God, it was like, this is PhD discussions.
It's impressive.
Isn't it?
Oh no, PhDs like would be lost. I mean, like, unless you have, like, you can know the math, you can be a PhD cryptographer or financier or something, but if you only know that one little part of it and you don't know the other parts, then you're completely useless, and we don't have 5 years to teach you. So I know a lot of stuff. There are a few who know more than me in certain disciplines, but Alpha and Johnny are definitely among that group, and I've learned a lot from them. Alpha, you remember that whiteboard when we were sketching EUSD back in 2019 and all the different chains? And Alpha and I have been thinking about bridges for like 3 years. So what you're stepping into is a long process.
All right. I'm just, because you know me, I don't know shit. So when you just passively throw out bridges, my mind goes to the bridge that connects, Tampa Bay, that connects Tampa over to Clearwater. So why don't we just take a little opportunity to educate the viewers on what kind of bridge are you talking about and why are they important?
Alpha, over to you, my friend. You take that one.
Well, I mean, it's basically what it boils down to is interoperability. Being able to communicate across chains. Because that's the ultimate goal. Because if we can do that, then you can access anything that you want to on any chain, anywhere. Any DeFi dApp that you want to. Where liquidity's at. Basically whatever you want. So that's why bridges are important, because different blockchains do different things.
So if we're successful here with EUSD, with E1, and you talk about accessing liquidity on other chains, let's face it. Let's just call a spade a spade. Epic Cash right now, there's very little liquidity in it, right? And so this then is a game changer, correct? As far as giving us access to liquidity.
Well, I mean, it's definitely going to open up different doors. Different blockchains. It's going to give us more exposure. But yeah, for sure, it's definitely there's going to be more liquidity. Okay. Max and I have been, this big whiteboard, we've look at all these different projects, and there are a lot of big plans. And I think, like you said, the liquidity may be kind of low right now, but the one thing that I can say about this project is, and this is, I hate to cut this button with the bridge, but the reason I kind of come back and I spend my time here is because this project is consistent. You really don't find this type of project around cryptocurrency. You don't find guys like Max that are in here, every single day, motivated, positive. You really just don't, a good community that, like we had earlier with, I think you said his name was Sky. You get people that come in out of nowhere, and then are, creating documents, putting a good amount of time and effort into just everything coming together. And this project is it's consistent, and that's something really hard to find in cryptocurrency. And
Hey, Max, we were on the phone. You introduced a group of us to Henry. Can you tell us a little bit about Henry? Because the one thing that he said that just kind of blew me away was that his company, who can actually, you could knock on his door and say, hey, I want an Uncle V coin, and they could actually create a whole blockchain, an Uncle V blockchain. And he said, when you look at the 20,000 assets, the majority of them are just crap. And he said, I get proposals, what did he say? 100 proposals a month.
100 a month.
100 a
And
month.
he tells them pound sand. Yeah.
He tells them pound sand. And the reason why is because he said they're all the same and very disinteresting. And he said, but Epic Cash and the ecosystem, he goes, way different. He said, I and my dev. Well, instead of me telling, why don't you talk about Henry?
Sure. So Henry is going to be the lead developer of Eon. So that's great. That'll be fast tracked with his active involvement. He's also going to be developing the Freemanity app for the DAO. So stay tuned for those two things. That's very exciting. So for the past, 10 years or so, I think he's run a software development shop based out of Miami. He's done work for Algorand, for Near. I would say that he's been instrumental in helping both of those projects achieve the level of traction that they have. And the fact that he was once what he described as an Algorand maximalist, which is kind of a weird thing to be, but he really drank the proof of stake Kool-Aid there for a while, and committed with his heart and soul, and then brought that skill set to Near. Both of those projects, I think Algorand is what, $5 billion market cap. Near got up to 11, something like that. Might be a little down, but this guy has definitely been around the block. And so he and I met, around a year ago or so, and got to talking. Thanks, Mike Mumola, for putting that together. And long story short, he has become a little bit cynical and embittered that the 37th Me Too NFT marketplace with a lot of razzle dazzle makes a few insiders filthy stinking rich as everyone else watches their $100 lottery ticket go down 99%, and then they can't afford the gas fees to get their last dollar out, or maybe their phantom wallet gets hacked on Solana. He just has kind of had enough and wants to put his skills to work for something good. And so he's going to be joining us on the journey with Eon. And what a lot of people don't realize, there's so much money out there. There's more money than there are good ideas and good operators to execute those good ideas. And innovation is messy. You never know what it's going to take to get something over the finish line. Like, I've been playing with our mobile wallet for weeks now, but it's not released. Why? Because one more bug. Oh, now we need to go do this. We need to go do that. If there's 3 guys in the world that have the special skill to to do what you need, and they can write their own ticket because there's 10 guys that want to hire them and there's only 3, well then, okay, money is not an issue. So the traditional drivers of success in venture capital and startup investing, first mover on that, kind of doesn't apply. But it also kind of distorts things. I know of a guy who had 12 part-time simultaneous development engagements, just basically milking dumb startups. He wrote a blog post expose on it, how he was clocking 1.2 million a year, just with his feet on the desk because they didn't know the difference. And so the ability to be to show ourselves worthy of people like Alpha and Johnny and Henry and all the others that I won't mention because they prefer to still be in the shadows for now. Yeah. We've got all kinds of guardian angels that have been involved watching us, okay, sensei, I'm ready for you to teach me how to go from purple belt to brown belt to black belt.
Nice. Well, let's look at this here real quick because this caught my eye. Interoperability, which Alpha referenced, comparison with CBDC. Everybody knows that I have been working. Let me stop share and I'm going to show you something. I have been working with you, Max, and with Todd Lewis. And here's a sneak peek at what by next Friday, we will have this to where we'll have on page 2 and 3, we'll have all of the definitions. The definitions are going through the hive mind right now so that we make sure that when anyone receives this, the definitions will match up there. So if anybody is going through this and they don't really understand what fair launch is, they'll be able to go down and there'll be the glossary of terms down there, which is really cool. But what you'll notice, if you remember the prior one, we had another column over here called score, which we were going to weight which one of these were most important. And for me, because I wanted to keep it simple, I'm like, that's too much. But what I would like you to add, because this cut is going to be interactive and it compares Epic Cash to Bitcoin to gold to Federal Reserve notes to Federal Reserve digital credits. So we're going to go back to the document that I showed where I said interoperability in comparison with CBDC, because right here, the CBDCs are, this is where all the the world leaders, the people in charge, I call them the Druid Babylonian bastards. They want to get us all into these CBDCs. And but the last thing that I thought would be cool for all of us is, let's say that you have somebody who just loves their Doge. Now we have a column, an alt asset. And you could just handwrite Doge. So I wanted this to be something that you could literally talk to anybody out there who is fond of any asset and say, all right, let's put it down there and let's discuss. And then you could literally walk them through this. It'd be a long process, but by the end of the day, I guarantee you there are going to be a lot of X's in the alt asset. And the only X, I'll give you a sneak peek, there are checks all the way down for Epic except for widespread acceptance. So, but the CBDCs is what I want to talk about now. And Alpha, I'd like you to, you and Max, to let's talk about this right here. CBDCs, let me open it up. It's kind of hard to read. I'm sorry about that, everybody, but I can read. What do they have in common? Their money, they're digital, durable, acceptable, portable, divisible, uniform. CBDC, though, unlimited supply, centralized, opaque monetary policy, closed in permission, risk of seizure, privacy invasive, enables censorship. Over on the Epic Cash side, limited supply of 21 million. Let's talk scarcity. Decentralized, clear monetary policy, open and permissionless, unconfiscatable. The elephant in the room, fungible, and it's censorship resistant. Max, do you and Alpha have any commentary on this and why we should, I think, why people should be really, really considering Epic Cash, knowing the CBDCs are coming, or they're going to attempt them for sure?
Yeah, so we should also, this is great. It's a good start. We should also emphasize the qualitative difference in terms of functionality, because I think the major thing that people need to be aware of with CBDC is that's going to include spending restrictions. So you get your $1,200 stimulus. Okay, well, you got to put that into the economy within the next 30 days or the money expires. Or your carbon footprint is too high, so you can't buy beef, go put it back and buy the veggie burger instead. Stuff like that is coming where you're essentially getting like EBT credits that you can only use for the food that they want you to eat. You can't buy a Slurpee, you have to buy the type of drink that's approved by the government. So there's that. But the biggest thing is that the currency supply, M1 money supply is 21 trillion right now. It was 4 trillion in February of 2020. It was 1 trillion in 2007. So the number of currency units in the fiat system is exploding. there can only ever be 21 million Epic. CBDC is only as good as the political structure that holds it together. Russia and China don't want our money anymore. They want their own money. There's political issues, whereas our money is politically neutral.
I just popped this up, and while you were talking, I went through and I thought it might be interesting to look at the X's that the CBDCs get. So they are not peer-to-peer, obviously. They have to go through who, Max? The government? Borderless. They are not borderless. Why is a CBDC not borderless?
Because it's only going to work in the region where they want it to work.
Okay.
So you know how
Epic-
you can't can't watch Netflix shows like when you're traveling in another country and it says,
Right.
or I don't know if you travel internationally, but you try and log in, and it's like, no, you can't watch this in Uzbekistan. But then you have to tunnel in through a VPN. So those are geo-fenced by design.
I mean, my gosh, then you go down after that and you look at what we are versus what they ain't. Private by default, decentralized, fungible, surveillance resistant, politically resistant, censorship resistant, confiscation resistant, scarce, store of value, inflation resistant, fair launch. No wonder these Druid Babylonian bastards want to force us into their digital currency, their cryptocurrency, right?
Yeah, it's definitely right. I mean, when you had the other picture up where you had CBDCs, you had Epic Cash, and then you had the things in the middle that they were similar. I think if you just look on the right, that's what we want our future to be like. I mean, if that's me, I want a society where the supply is limited, where we don't have centralized power, where I'm free to spend my money wherever I want to. Nobody's going to tell me, oh, this money's no good, you can't spend this here, or in this region. This is what type of society that I want to live in on the right hand side,
Amen.
not on the left hand side.
Amen. Yeah, I'm just looking at this right now, and I like the fact they put the unlimited supply in red. So fungible, Max, just because I like doing this, it makes me feel good. Can we talk about the elephant in the room? And BTC is fungible, yes?
Yeah, is a rose by another name gonna smell as sweet? So if you had Russian BTC before the war started, you could deposit that in a centralized exchange and they would accept it. Now they will deny your tainted coins because they've been through Russian hands. Canadian trucker funders who got prosecuted by the government and had their bank accounts seized and lost their homes as financial terrorists know why fungibility is important. BTC is like a diamond. You have to know which one you're getting and evaluate how fresh it is. Okay, these are freshly mined coins. Okay, they're worth 30% more than those coins that have been circulating around. That you could almost say BTC coins have a numismatic, not premium, but a circulation discount that applies over time. But all Epic are truly unique. So imagine the difference between $1 bills that all have a serial number on them, and when you put them in the ATM machine, they scan them and they know which ones went where. Imagine your wife knows, hey, you went to that strip joint again. I'm going to divorce you. Whereas quarters don't have a serial number. You stick them in the laundromat. Nobody knows where they've been. Epic are more like quarters, and BTC are more like dollar bills.
I love that analogy. Thank you.
And Epic is even better than quarters, because if they're damaged, then nobody will want them. They'll still prefer the ones that look nicer if you collect them, for example. So
they never wear out. They're factory fresh every time they're spent. They're perfectly uniform and never ever have any flaws. Imagine if for the coin collectors out there, imagine they all come out as perfect PF69 proofs.
And also the quarter is appreciating to where next, if you put it in your right pocket, next month it may be worth 40 cents.
Well,
right?
And here's the other thing too. I don't know, Uncle, has anyone on the line ever been a coin collector? Izzy, you probably collect coins. Alpha?
Izzy,
No.
welcome to the show, Izzy.
Hey, thanks. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, I actually did collect coins back when I was 12. I'm still interested. I still have Morgan dollars are my favorite now.
Interesting.
they're
I like walking liberties and Mercury dimes. We'll talk about that offline. But anyway, so you know how you put them in the plastic slabs, right? You know that the ANAC and PCGS grading, you put them in a slab. Well, if you think about that, like if you look at the E1 logo, how that's actually how we came up with the E1 logo, was this idea of taking an Epic coin in its perfect pristine form and then sticking that in essentially like a carrying case so that it can ride around on other blockchains rails. If you do that, if you turn a fungible Epic into an E1 fungible token, what you're actually doing is you're kind of creating an NFT, because we know which ones, or let's say, the blockchains know, it is possible to know this one was created sooner. This one was created in 2022. This one was created in 2024, and so on. And because lack of fungibility is sometimes a bug in the case of Canadian truckers, and sometimes it's a feature. When you want a lack of fungibility, imagine that we want to incentivize first movers, like the first people who take out EUSD loans when we need to contract the money supply and do some loan forgiveness. Yeah, we're going to forgive your loans first. We can do that by selectively opting in and out, going from light to dark and dark to light, fungible to non-fungible. Because of our flexible modular design, we can do all kinds of magic that other chains and chain ecosystems simply don't have the technical capacity to execute.
I encourage everyone to go to epic.tech and actually spend some time there. And I'm just going to quickly go through it just to show you, but then I want to go back to one certain spot, Max. You can get to the bottom and you can discover more about Epic Cash, and it'll take you to another place. And this just becomes a beautiful rabbit hole for all of us. Let me back this up. But Max, I want to talk about page 2 here. So the other conversation that we had this week with someone was on the legal side, talking about the SEC and the fact that they are arming up to go after the cryptocurrency space. And you had made a comment that I found very interesting, and I just want you to back it up. You really believe that through this purge, that I don't know what percentage, I want you to share it, of coins or tokens that are out there now are going to be deemed securities.
Yeah.
And why this area that I'm pointing to right now is so darned important to our future, our financial future.
I'm on CoinGecko right now. I'm going to run through real quick.
You want me to stop sharing?
In descending order of market cap.
Do you want me to stop sharing?
Yeah, you know what? Let me share here.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Then, so let's do this. Izzy and Alpha, if you disagree with any of these and you think it's not a security, then jump in. But otherwise, let's assume that we all agree here.
I love this kind of stuff.
Yeah. All right. And I'm going to do the 1 minute timer. Ready, go. Okay. Actually, no, this one will need 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ether, definitely a security. I'm going to skip stable coins for now. BNB, security. Stablecoin, XRP, security. Cardano, I'm going to go with probably not, because they designed it in a clever enough way. That one has an asterisk. Cardano may survive, but the SEC will be able to say, you're a security and squeeze them because it's iffy. Solana's a security, Polkadot's a security, Doge is not a security, very important. It generally has very little value, but if it has any value, that's one of the reasons why. DAI is a stable coin, so I'm going to skip it. Shiba is an interesting one. It's not clear cut. I'm going to skip it. I would say probably not. Avalanche, actually interesting. Alpha, how would you come down on Avalanche?
I would probably say maybe not.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, I would say too. They're going to survive. They designed it smart. Kudos to you, Avalanche. They will survive. In the interest of time, because I'm looking at the grains of sand running here. Let's keep running. Polygon, very interesting. Alpha, more likely yes, more likely no.
Security.
Okay, I'm not going to disagree. Tron,
Security.
right? WBTC, definitely security.
Oh yeah.
ETH Classic, not a security. OKB, security. Leo, security. Litecoin, not a security. But it doesn't matter because have you guys noticed the delistings on Litecoin? Remember, we were arguing with Nathan Stoltman or whatever his name was, all these Litecoin maxis that are like, yay, Mimble, it's going to pump. No, you just got delisted because now you're a privacy coin, even though nobody has ever used the privacy feature.
Right.
Uniswap, security. FTX, security. Near, what do you think about Near? Alpha?
I'd say no.
I'd say no too. Crow, security. Link, security. Atom, not a security. Stellar, not a security. Monero, not a security. Flow, security. Bitcoin Cash, not a security. Algorand, Alpha, yes or no?
No.
No, I agree. ApeCoin, security. VeChain,
Security.
Alpha. Yep.
Security.
Filecoin, no. ICP,
Maybe not.
I'd say 49%. It'd be too hard to put that genie back in the bottle and they have too much support, but it's very, very close. They could get squeezed and a big like what if tax extracted from the VCs that own that. The game theory there gets interesting. I don't know what chain is. Decentraland security, Sandbox security, Hedera security, Tezos 49%.
Yeah, 49.
Yeah, maybe. Strong maybe. Theta?
Which one? What is that?
Theta? I don't know Theta too well.
Security.
Yeah, Axie security. Frax?
Frax. I don't know.
Maybe. They're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. I'd say most likely not. Because of the participation, the DAO, the what are you going to do about it anyway? I think Frax gets a pass. I love Frax. Oh no, Frax is a stable coin. Frax is not a security. That's a stable coin, not a security. I was thinking FXS, the Frax shares. Quant's a security. Aave, is Aave a security?
Yes, but I think it'd probably get a pass.
Yeah, it's too entrenched. Elrond, security, right?
Yep. Security.
Lido DAO is, I don't know what that one is, but
all right,
that's Ethereum 2.0 staking, liquid staking.
Okay, EOS.
We're going to stop at EOS because I want to ask you a question. So that you notated that there are a lot of securities. So it'd be interesting to literally go through that list and have a spreadsheet of an SEC survivable portfolio. That would be really interesting to and maybe Enrique, maybe that's something that you could do to where you're good at that stuff, to where we could just kind of keep track of where those coins are over the next few years. And I'm sorry, everybody, but yes, I plan to be doing Epic Cash lives in 3 years. You know, numbers are going to be different, but that's why Enrique and I can strategize long term. But SEC survivable portfolio, Max and Alpha, I want you to educate us and tell us, if you are one of those to where you said security, what does that mean for those projects in your point of view?
So go ahead, Max.
Oh no, go ahead, Alpha. I'm here.
Oh, no,
I'm here
I-
every week. Let's let you give the talk.
Oh, no, I mean, it just means that you'll have to register with the SEC. The project will have to register with the SEC. Everybody that has tokens or a wallet, within that project will have to register their tokens with the SEC. I mean, it's
And
yeah,
what
I
are
mean,
the implications then of after like
You don't live in the US, for example,
what's
for a
that?
holder of those tokens that doesn't live in the
Yeah.
US, like
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, where are you going to trade these securities at? I mean, it opens up. I mean, it is going to be a nightmare for these projects.
Wow.
Well,
Max,
and not only that, now your auditors who have to sign off on your accounts, these projects are structured as companies. So the auditors who have to sign off and the boards who have a fiduciary responsibility are looking at their D&O insurance and they're like, wait a minute, I'm involved in unlicensed securities dealing.
Mhm.
I'm going to go lawyer up. I can't have the reputational risk of being on the board. Kim Kardashian just got sued for EC Max token.
Wow.
I don't need the hassle. I'm down 94% on my investment. This thing needs to 20x to
She
get back
also
to where.
had, she also had a butt reduction just to lower the IQ curve in the
Yeah.
I'll just chime in and say that hoping not too loud, any proof of work coin being called a security doesn't calculate in my head. So as this goes forward, I'll see. We'll see what happens. But I understand some of these coins maybe had a not so fair launch, and some coins were released or produced out of thin air. But once the proof of work is added in, there's sort of this whole spectrum of securities that we can see. And,
Islo, everything.
The participatory nature of proof of work as that goes forward kind of really erodes anything being a security.
Well, Islo, you notice that I gave a pass to everything that was proof of work just based on that.
Yeah. Well, you opened up with Ethereum. I thought you said it was a security.
But it's going to proof of stake.
Oh,
That's why.
Right.
When it's proof of stake, then it becomes a security.
But then
not just for that.
But then we have to go back. Now it's like interesting to go. Oh, it's like the Bitcoin thing. Where are these freshly mined Bitcoin? It's the whole. Which Ethereum do you have? Do you have pre proof of stake, or do you have
right? Not our problem, is it? No,
not Epic's problem at all.
But it's not just not our problem. It's actually most spectacularly our opportunity, because I've been talking to Henry and Johnny and Alpha for a long time about how we're going to use the Eon capabilities, which is absolutely not a security, to get into the places that post-merge Ethereum can't go. So thank you for your incompetence.
Well, it's 12:58 and we're going to keep it to an hour. So we're going to save the Eon discussion for another Friday, be it next Friday or after. But man, I haven't even gone over here into the chat. Looks like we have 16 watching, 17 likes. So thank you everyone for smashing that like button. And man, I'm looking forward to the weekend on Enrique Sunday. You and I'll be on Telegram comparing notes or whatever. But
absolutely,
let's do what we do so we can give a report next week on the GUI 4.0. Thank you, Pool Boy, and everybody, Sky, involved with that. That's going to be kind of a fun Sunday. Max, you have anything to take us out?
Just as I always do, we need volunteers. So if you want to get your oar wet and help us row, DM me at t.me/MaxFreeman4. I get a lot of messages. If you get a message from me on Max Freeman 44, that's my sort of like less noisy one. As I get more messages, I kind of create a new one and tune the noise out and check back on the old one as I can clean up the spam, that kind of thing. So definitely reach out if you can help in any way. Let me know. And just supreme appreciation to everyone who is helping. You know who you are. And in fact, I'm going to put together a list for next week. People are really doing great work, and I want to recognize them. Great idea. Thanks, everybody.
Alpha, thank you for joining us. Matt, Izzy, good seeing you in here. And Enrique, again, thanks for blessing us with that super microphone of yours, because it looks cool. And
It's nice.
I anticipate we'll 2x our price by next week because of that. All right, everyone. I hope you have a great weekend. Everyone in the chat, thank you for being